Hi everyone. I'm doing my post for today. Today is November 13, 2025. My mother's birthday. She was born on a bad luck day. Sit on a crack, you'll break your mother's back. Things like that. If you see a black cat, what is it? If you break a mirror, 7 years of bad luck. My mom was born on the 13th. When it's Friday the 13th, they say it's bad luck, but it's crazy. Anyhow, I've been doing all right. I haven't been posting recently, but I'm back on YouTube. My hair's growing. Could you believe it? But like I'm in chemotherapy again, so like my hair might fall off. It depends. This time I might go completely bald. Completely bald. Could you believe it? But like it depends on like if how I react to the treatment. If I go completely bald and stuff, I have chemo until December, and they want a second opinion. They said that they said that they want to talk, they want me to talk to a second opinion. It's like, am I dying or something? Am I dying? Because they want me to go get a second opinion. It's like I don't feel like I'm dying, but if I die, if I don't show up on YouTube, I'm dead and stuff. It's crazy. They want me to get a second opinion because they can't cure my cancer. They say my cancer's incurable, and I'm like, then why the fuck would I get chemo? It's crazy. Why the fuck would I get chemo if it's incurable? You know what I mean? Anyhow, so I'm gonna do Dr. Seuss's If I Ran the Zoo. If I ran a zoo. See? Dr. Seuss. It was published in 1950. Could you believe it? So if it's a little outdated, it's because it's published in 1950. They say it might be racist. ABC News was saying there's a little racist. I'm still looking for the racist parts, but I'm bear with me. I'm trying to figure it out. It's a pretty good zoo, said young Gerard McGrew, and the fellow who runs it seems proud of it too. But if I ran the zoo, said young Gerard McCrew, I'd make a few changes. That's just what I do. The lions and tigers and that kind of stuff they have up here now are not quite good enough. You see things like these in just any old zoo. They're awfully old fashioned. I want something new. So I'd open each cage, I'd unlock every pen, let the animals go and start over again. And somehow or other, I think I could find some beasts of a much more unusual kind. A 4-footed lion's not much of a beast. The one in my zoo will have 10 feet at least. 5 legs on the left and 5 more on the right. The people will stare and they'll say, what a sight. This zookeeper, new keeper, Gerard's quite keen. That's the gold dandelions lion I've ever seen. So see here are the pictures for this one. My new Sumakruso will make people talk. My new Sumakruso will make people gawk at the strangest odd creatures that ever did walk. I'll get for my Su a new sort of a hen who roots in another hen's top knot, and then another one roots at the top knot of his, and another in his, and another in his, and so forth and upward and onward. Gee whiz. But that's just a start. I'll do better than that. They'll see me next day in my zookeeper's hat, coming into my zoo with an elephant cat. They'll be so surprised they'll all swallow their gum. They'll ask when they see my strange animals come, where do you suppose he gets things like that from? His animals all have such very odd faces. I'll bet he must hunt them in rather odd places. I guess he's showing off that he got a new zoo, that he's got all these odd creatures, that he's got all these new things to look at and stuff. He's flaunting that he got a new zoo. Get what I mean? These are the pictures. And that's what I'll do, said young Gerald McGrew. If you want to catch beasts you don't see every day, you have to go places quite out of the way. You have to go places no others can get to. You have to get cold and you have to get wet too. I'll pass the North Pole where the frozen winds squeal. I'll go on a hunt in my ski-go mobile and bring back a family of what do you know? And that's how my news of my group will grow. I guess that to look for things, you have to go different places to find what you want. So you have to like If you want a zoo, you have to go look for the animals. So you have to go hunt them all over the world and stuff to hunt the animals. A hunt in the mountains of Zumba Matant with helpers who all wear their eyes at a slant and capture a fine fluffy bird called the bustard who only eats custard with sauce made of mustard, and also a very fine beast called the fluscard who only eats mustard with sauce made of custard. Those are the pictures. I'll catch 'em in caves and I'll catch 'em in brooks. I'll catch 'em in crannies. I'll catch 'em in nooks that you don't read about in geography books. I'll catch 'em in countries that no one can spell, like the country of Modified Potapafel. In a country like that, if a hunter is clever, he'll hunt on some beast that you never ever saw. I'll load up 5 boats with a family of jotes whose feet are like cows but wear squirrel skin coats, and sit down like dogs but have voices like goats, expecting they can't sing the very high notes. These are the pictures for that. I guess you won't be able to know what kind of people you'll find. And then I'll go down to the wilds of Nankantan and capture a family of lynx in a bucket. Then people will say, "No, I like that boy heaps. His nusu magruso is growing by leaps. He captures them wild and he captures them meek. He captures them sleep and he catches them sleek. What do you suppose he will capture next week? I guess he'll capture a giraffe and a meek cat. I'll capture one tiny, I'll capture one cute, I'll capture a deer that no hunter would shoot. A deer that's so nice he could sleep in your bed if it weren't those horns that he has on his head. The fuck? And speaking of horns that are just a bit queer, I'll bring back a very odd family of deer. A father, a mother, 2 sisters, a brother, whose hornets are connected from one to another, whose horns are so mixed they can't tell them apart, can't tell where they are, and can't tell where they start. And deer's mighty puzzled he's never yet found if his horns are hers or the other way round. I'll capture them fat and I'll capture them scrawny. I'll capture a scragglefoot mulligatawny, a high-stepping animal fast as the wind from the blistering sands of the desert of Zen. This beast is the beast that the brave chieftains ran, and they want to go fast to find some place to hide. A mulligatawny is fine for my zoo, and so is the chieftain. I'll bring one too. You'll bring all kinds of stuff. One in the far western part of southeast North Dakota, like a very fine animal called the iota, but I'll capture one who is even much finer in the northeastern west part of South Carolina. I'm telling you, he has to go far in places all over the world to find these animals and stuff. Don't know what kind of, you don't know how they're tamed, the animals. You know what kind of environments they've been in. Don't know what kind of food you will have to feed them. You don't know nothing about these animals. You just have to go find them. If you want to look for this, if you want to have a zoo, you have to go find for the animals. You have to find all these people if you want a zoo. When people see him, they will say, "Now by thunder, this Nusu Magruso is really a wonder." Most beasts are quite friendly, but still in some lands, some beasts are too dangerous to catch with bare hands. For those that are ugly and vicious and mean, they'll build a bad animal catching machine. It's rather expensive to build such a kit, but with a kid hunter, they can never get bit. A zoo should have bugs, so I'll capture a thorough whose legs are snarled up in a terrible snarl. And then I go out and I capture some chugs, some kin shooter, mean shooter, bean shooter bugs. I'll go to the African island of Yurka and bring back a chisel tufta mazurka, a kind of canary with quite a tall throat. His neck is so long if he swallows a note. For breakfast the first day of April, they say, it has to go down such a very long way that it gets to his stomach for the 15th of May. Crazy, huh? And when I've caught him, then the next thing you know, I'll go and I'll capture a wild tic-tac-toe with X's that win and with zeros that lose. He'll look mighty good in this zoo of Mercruz. I'll bring back a gusset, a gherkin, a gasket, and also a gooch from the woods of Nantusket. An 8 Persian princess will carry the basket, but what their names are I don't know, so don't ask it. In a cave in a cartoon lives a beast called the Natch that no other hunter's been able to catch. He's hidden for years in his cave with a pouch, and no one's been able to make him come out. But I'll coax him out with a wonderful meal that's cooked by my cooks in my cooker-mobile. They'll fix up a dish that is just to his taste. 3 chicken croquettes made of library paste. They sprinkle with peanut sharks pickled and spiced, then barked at 600 degrees and then ice. It's mighty hard cooking to cook up such feasts, and that's how the new Zuma crew gets beat. Any Persian princess will carry the basket. I guess that's stereotypical. The Persians carry baskets and stuff. I'll go to faraway mountains of Tosk, near the river of Rus, and I'll bring back the oats, a sort of kind of a thing on my boss, who only eats rubber and corn on the cobs. But it's another stereotype that those people might eat that. Yeah, but I tell you, you never know what, but it's true, you never know what they eat. The animals you find in the zoo. You're looking for your zoo. Magoo, they will say, does a wonderful job. He hunts with such vim and he hunts with such vigor. His Nuzu Magruzu gets bigger and bigger. And speaking of birds, there's the Russian Paluski, whose headsky is redsky and belly is bluesky. I'll get one of them in my Suski Magruski. The Russians will have red hair, supposedly, but that's another stereotype. It's like, they have red hair. It's like, who's he talking about? These animals with red hair? Then the whole town will gasp why this boy never sleeps. No keeper before ever kept what he keeps. There's no telling what the young fellow will do. And then just to show them I'll sell to Kachu and bring back the itch catch, a preep, a nurko, a pru, a nerd, and a super sucker too. I'll hunt in the jungles of Hippo no Hungus and bring back a flock of white Beepo no Bungus. The Beepo no Bungus from Hippo no Hungus are better than those down in Deepo no Dungus, and smarter than those out in Nippo no Nungus, and that's what I'll catch up in Hippo no Hungus, instead of those others in Nungus and Dungus, and people will say when they say this beeps Sondra. The zookeeper, no keeper, simple, astounding. He travels so far that you think he would drop. Where do you suppose this young fellow will stop? Stop while I should, but I won't stop until I've captured the Fizzum, my wisdom, my deal, the world's biggest bird from the island of Gorg, who only eats pine trees and spits out the bark. And boy, when I get him back from to my park, the whole world will say young Magoose made his mark. He's built a zoo better than Noah's whole ark. The zoo of marvelous beasts that he chooses have made him the greatest of all the Magoos. Wow, they all cheer what this zoo must be worth. It's the gold darnest zoo on the face of the earth. Yes, that's what I do, said young Gerald McCrew. I'd make a few changes if I ran the zoo. Anyways, this was the book. Let's see. Dr. Seuss, your favorite Seuss. Anyways. So, I guess you'll find a non person or you'll find a red-headed animal, or you'll find all these animals all over the world, or you'll find you have to find, or they'll eat this kind of food, or they'll carry baskets, or they'll talk to you like if they were headed to a casket. See what I mean? Anyways, I used to work at Higher Ground Neighborhood Development Corporation, and it was an after-school program for K through 5th grade, and I taught all the grades. I worked 7 years there, and when I worked through K through 2nd, I used to do reading circle and read to the kids, and I got used to reading to kids and playing Duck Duck Goose and Ghost in the Graveyard and Four Corners and things like that. But that's things that we only do at Higher Ground, the Higher Ground way, the HG way, the Higher Ground way. It was like my New York shirt. My friend bought it to me from New York. She went to New York. I went to New York in 2011, and I went to Broadway. I saw the Addams Family. The play at Broadway. My friend went to New York recently and bought me the shirt from New York. I'm like, New York. Anyways, I guess that's it for today. Bye.